Okay, hey guys, Paul from BabelTEQ again. I had a question the other day about forms, like how to create a form for your website. Um, so forms, of course, are probably the key way that we interact with our clients and potential clients. So you can do a lot of things with forms. You have your checkout page is essentially a form, so people enter their payment details. You process those details. That's a form. A testimonial upload form is another kind of form. So you can ask your students to give you a testimonial, which you then use on your site, use on your site to show other people feedback from your satisfied customers. So, and another type of form, of course, is just a contact form. And so by default, everyone has a generic contact form. But the question I was asked is like, how can we customize that form a little bit? And actually, the discussion I had was around using those contact forms as a way of qualifying potential students, like as in qualifying them before, say, a trial lesson. And there are a few ways you could do that. You could ask like some multiple choice questions, and like get a sense of where your students' vocabulary or grammar knowledge is at. That would be one way. Another way would be if you ask your potential student to maybe record themselves just speaking for a minute or 2 minutes, and then upload that recording as an MP3 file. And I think that's maybe one of the best ways of getting a sense of where someone's language ability level is at, because I've seen again and again people who are brilliant on paper tests, but they really struggle with a live test. So I think getting someone's voice recording, if you just listen to that, it's usually pretty obvious, like whether they're at the beginner or intermediate or advanced level. So I wanted to make a video to talk about how you can do that on your site, and maybe some of the ways that you can use a customized form on your site. So let me just share my screen with you here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I need to go to the back end, the dashboard of your BabelTEQ website. And if we go here to forms, right, so you should have at least these two forms, the upload a testimonial form and contact me form. So I think the easiest way to go about this is if we duplicate the default contact form. So let's do that. Let's duplicate. Okay, and let's edit this. So if I click on edit, and I won't start with form settings before we go too far. And let's change this from contact me to let's just call it pre-trial lesson form. The form description, let's just call this please fill in some information and upload a 2-minute MP3 file of yourself speaking in English. Now you might want to give some instructions here about you can Tell me about your favorite hobby. So just so that they have some idea of, like what to talk about. I suppose it doesn't really matter because you just want to hear them speaking and how they construct sentences and, fluency, grammar, pronunciation, all those sorts of things. So I think the rest of this is fine. Now, confirmations. Okay. So we better save that first. Yes, confirmation. So confirmation, this is what appears on the screen after they submit the form. So it's the default text. It's pretty generic. Hi, thank you for contacting me. I'll get in touch soon. Okay, so you can change that if you like. I'm just going to leave that as it is. Notification. Yep. So this is the notification that gets sent to you. This is the admin notification. Okay. And we can probably leave that as it is. It will just send you everything that's captured by the form. Personal data. So this is getting more and more important. I think each year it relates to how you deal with information which is given to you by third parties, by your clients. So it's all about how we retain and how we manage that information. So by default, it'll be this, which is retain entries indefinitely. But of course, if you're accepting this kind of information, you have a responsibility to deal with it appropriately. Another, I think, important point too is that if people are uploading files, if people are uploading MP3 files, you only have a certain storage limit on your account. So if you're not pruning those entries periodically, let's say, then sooner or later you're going to run out of storage space, and it means that you're not going to be able to upload new images and so on to your media library. So you don't want to get to that situation. So what I would suggest is, that's okay. What I would suggest is you choose this option, which is delete entries permanently, automatically. And it doesn't have to be one day after someone submits the form. You could set it to say 14 days. All right. Let's make it 14 days. So 14 days after somebody submits this form, their information gets deleted, and so that's good for you because it keeps your storage capacity optimized, and it's also better for the client because it means that their personal data is not out there. So I think we can leave that off, and we can just save that. Okay, and these other two, PayPal and Stripe, you may not even have these, but so you don't need to worry about those. So now we've dealt with the settings. Let's take a look at the form itself. Okay. Now, so because we've copied over the contact us form, so you're going to get the name and email address, and I think that's good. That's a good start. So a message. So maybe we might want to change this to something like, please explain why you would like to take a trial lesson. Okay. And then so below that, so you can put some extra fields in here, like you could ask them to You could ask them to, like, for example, fill out their occupation. So I just dragged out a single line here. So or job, for example, and we can make that required. So if I click on that field there, you can see this red asterisk, which means that they need to complete this field before they can submit the form. You know, maybe you want to add like a radio button field. So a radio button means that the choices are mutually exclusive. So let's say, okay, so we might say, for example, what do your English level? Let's just keep it simple. Let's just ask your English level. So first choice, beginner. Intermediate. Advanced, okay. And again, we'll make that required. So you can think of whatever questions you'd like to ask, whatever of these types of mutually exclusive answers. You know, whatever type of question gives you a mutually exclusive answer. That's where you would use these radio buttons. Now, another type of question could be checkboxes. So checkbox, we could have one or more, or I guess potentially zero answers. So somewhere between 0 and X number of answers, but they could check the answers that apply. So this question could be like, why? Why do you need to improve your English? So I might say, work. As a hobby. For exams, something like that. So yeah. So someone could select one or all of those things. All right, so we've got a few different types of fields here, which I've demonstrated. So there's the single line entry field, there's the radio button field, the checkbox fields. You could have a text area, like a paragraph type of field. What we want to add in is a file upload. So that's going to be down here under advanced fields, and it's this one, file upload. So I'm going to drag that out to here. I'm going to say your self-recorded presentation. We better put some description in here. So please upload an MP3 file yourself. Talking about a hobby. Yeah, so, and you probably want to restrict this to MP3 so that people don't, upload their PDF document or their Word document or some other, something else that's not what you want. So we'll say that the allowed extensions are MP3. Yeah, so by default, I mean, there are only certain types of there are only certain file extension types that are allowed anyway. So, but MP3s are one of those allowed types. So, but you might as well just restrict it even further to just that file type. Yeah, and maximum file size. So, I mean, 10 megabytes is pretty generous. I don't even think you need that many. I think, you know, two megabytes should be plenty for someone to record a couple of minutes of themselves speaking. We'll make that required. Let's see. Let's save that form. Okay. All right. And if you wanted to, you could even add a field in here, a checkbox field. So something like other conditions, and have like one choice. Agree to the terms and conditions of the site. Delete these other choices, just have the one choice on there, make that required. So now when somebody completes this form, they have to check the box to say that they agree to your terms and conditions. So yep, so let's save that again. Okay, so just to summarize then, so we can use this kind of form, like let's say if somebody books a trial lesson through our booking calendar, but then before the day comes for them to actually have that trial lesson, we want to screen them first and get some sense of what level they're at. It might help us to prepare for the trial lesson and have some sort of a plan in place for the day. Like, we don't want to be planning for an advanced level student and they turn out to be like an absolute beginner, or vice versa. So I think that having a form like this on a page, you can create a page and just embed this form. Having a form like this on a page where you can send students after they book a trial lesson, but before the actual trial lesson day itself, it could be very beneficial for you. So another thing you could do with this form or any other form is embed it, let's say, on one of your blog posts. Okay, no reason why you can't do that. So you can embed these forms into a page or into a blog post. And let me just show you what I mean here. So this is a blog post. Okay. See here, there's some dummy text in here. Maybe what I want to do, we've got a pop up here. What I want to do is put this form at the end of my blog post. So maybe this blog post is about like accent modification or something, and so I want to have a form on here which says, hey, if you'd like to work with me on accent modification, please fill in the form below. Send me an attached file of yourself speaking, and we can work from there. So what you could do is add the form, and the way to do that is if I activate the BabelTEQ page editor again, and if I come up here, click on the plus, search, and I want to look for something. I want to look for something called. Well, if I type in form, that's not going to be it. What I want is gravity forms. So gravity forms styler. So gravity forms is the name of the plugin which we use to create these customized forms. Okay, and that's the one that you want. So gravity forms. Gravity forms styler. So I'll drag that out. And so I'll want to select the correct form. It's this one, the pre-trial lesson booking form, pre-trial lesson form, and save that. Okay, and you can see there, this is the form that we created together. If I hit done and publish, just refresh that. So now we've got this this form on our blog post, and you can do that with any of your pages as well, of course. So a blog post or a page, either way, you can just embed this Gravity Forms styler module, and you're in business. So we can see there that, you know, somebody has to fill in their name, their email, their job. Yep, all these other things. We didn't make that one required, so they could skip that question if they wanted to. So there's a button on here where they can upload their MP3 file. They need to check that they agree to the terms and conditions, and they can send it to you. If you wanted to like style this a little bit, I'll activate the page editor again. Let's click on that. Yeah. Okay, let's give this form a background. Yep, so you can give it a background, something like that, so that it just kind of stands out a little bit from the rest of the page. You can even change the color of the text if you wanted to. So there's a lot of styling options in there. So you can play around with that if you like. So I'm going to hit done, publish. There you go. Right, so I hope that was helpful. So now you know how to like customize that contact form into some other kind of form, which you might want to use on any of your pages or in your blog posts, you know, depending on what your business workflow is. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, so thanks. Bye for now.